A standard game of 40K is 3 hours on paper. It's never actually that long, but 3 hours on paper. This is a chess clock. We use these sometimes in Warhammer if you hate fun like me. This is a tool for those who have turned their hobby into a highly unregulated, contradictory sport. I'm one of those, and today we're gonna see if we can paint some large amount of orcs in this period of time, because why not make that part of the hobby rushed and stressful too. These are a bunch of beast snagas that I've been putting off painting. Can you see this? Can you? I don't know. I've got a bunch of squig hog raiders. I've got some beast snaga boys, and I've got this guy, the Noblins Master Squig. And also over here we have some old models, which I got secondhand kind of recently. I don't know if we're gonna get to these. It feels pretty ambitious, but as a little treat at the end, I might go through and like touch these guys up a lot. I've probably played about like 40 games of 40K in the last like 2.5 months. I've painted almost nothing in that same period of time. Let's use the time of one game to paint something. I guess the camera should be on me right now. That's usually how intros work. It's currently 10:46 p.m. on Thursday, August 4th. God, it's August 4th. Damn, that sucks. This year went fast. It's 10:46 and we're going to stop at 1:47. I meant to start this at like 8. I should probably just wait for another day, but I don't want to. Let's see how much we can paint. I'm so tired today, dude. I don't know how this is gonna go. Sure would suck to record this whole video and then realize nothing was in focus. That would not be the first time that's happened, and it probably won't be the last. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I got a bunch of paints already planned out. I have like a loose color scheme in mind. I don't want to just do the normal, or do I? Hold up. Let me think for a couple seconds before I finish that statement. So the plan for these guys initially was to do like kind of a second edition looking color scheme, because I thought it'd be fun to have some like retro orcs, but the Goth color scheme that I have is like so much easier. It would go really fast. I'm tempted to just go with that, like the pale orcs I've been doing forever. Here, we're gonna do a compromise. I'm gonna paint them Goths. I should start the clock now. That feels fair. 10:48 p.m. starting the clock now. I think I'm gonna do them Goths, but not the black metal face paint, because I want some variety in this army. Ogre and Camo is the color I used to use for the skin, and I feel like it might be time to bring that back. If I'm not going to do bright colors, I think we dry brush first, which is the less fun stage, but yeah, here we go. We're gonna do that. Okay, have you guys seen these things? There's like a Vortex lab mixer. They're pretty popular to my understanding for miniature painting, so big recommend this too. Yeah, that's great. I don't think the mic's picking it up, but you can like hear the paint swirling around rapidly if you like put your ear next to it. It's pretty crazy. All right, it should be fine. I don't know, I'm like shaking it after. Like that's gonna do it. Anything after I've used the Vortex for like 2 minutes. Maybe I just cut the camera here. Does that sound good to you guys? Yeah, I'm gonna cut and then we're gonna see what time it is, just to put a little less pressure on myself so I can focus on painting and not just spend 3 hours talking to the camera without ever picking up a brush. So we're gonna do that and I'll be right back. If you're trying to follow this, I'm using this, can you hear that? Sorry, this music's loud. This bronze by Vallejo, which is a color I use a lot for the base metal instead of brass scorpion. I just think, yeah, it's what I'm familiar with, and I think it's gonna look good. I will be using an airbrush for a lot of this tutorial, and I know that might be disappointing to people who don't own an airbrush who want to follow along, and the truth is, the only reason I can do this in 3 hours, or I don't know if I'll be able to, but the only reason it feels like even like tentatively possible is because of the airbrush, and it'd be pretty hard to do without it. I mean, I'm sure somebody can, but like I really rely on the airbrush for finishing in time. As much as it like often sucks and is annoying to use when it gets clogged, I don't think I could do this without the airbrush. Advance warning, there's gonna be a lot of airbrushing pretty soon. I always forget how fucking long painting takes. It's like as soon as I sit back down after like not doing it for a long time, I'm always like, yeah, this will take like 20 minutes, and yeah, I can already feel the weight and pressure to get these done. A technique I learned recently about dry brushing is to actually wet your dry brush and then dry the tip of it, obviously, so you can like actually dry brush, but keep this like back part wet. That'll keep your paint from getting like flaky and dusty, which is a thing that happens when dry brushing sometimes. We've got 18 minutes into our time roughly now, and it's not great for our schedule. Neither is having to record dialogue twice because it wasn't recording the first time and I didn't notice. Oops. I don't have time to do my turntable because we're rushing to get these done, but this is the first coat, just bronze on everyone. They look pretty almost exactly the same as if they're prime still right now, which is what you want. Their goths are going to be pretty dark at the end, and we want this color scheme to have more than just like dry brushed dark silver metal, because it's boring and who wants that. But we want them to look dark and proper killy and gothy still. So yeah, just a little bit of color, but it's mostly going to be covered up by the end, but will make a noticeable difference. That's hopefully worth the time invested. Next up, I'm going to do the same basically with Iron Warriors, just because it's yeah, another very dark metal. And I'll see you in hopefully less than the time it took me to do this. Here's where we're at after the silver. Again, really subtle, and we want that. Subtle is good-ish. A little subtle is good. Maybe this is too subtle. Oh god. We're gonna go into the skin. This is all gonna be airbrushed. Again, it's just fastest, and it's gonna be a little messy because that's just how airbrushing works. And after that, I'm gonna go back and do the black trim again, anywhere we spill over. And these fucking beast snaggers, man, they got like a million bells and whistles all over them. That's gonna really slow us down. Especially, this one's my own fault. These are like some third-party models converted from a bunch of stuff that I made. Like, yeah, these are Orc Boy arms, obviously. This is from Spellcrow. This is also from Spellcrow. I forgot who made these, but I'll put a link in the description if or when I remember. Just starting to realize like how much of these guys are not just like paint face and muscles and weapons and done. But I'm glad we went with the dark color scheme because being goths, everything's black, and that's going to be able to hide a lot of that. Here's where the clock's at. That might be better than last time, that might be worse, I don't remember. I think it's worse. Hi everyone, we're back, and oh boy, a lot has happened. There's 15 minutes left. It's currently 11:48. We're listening to Have a Nice Life, a band that's no stranger to having my channel demonetized for playing in the background. And I changed my shirt because I spilled our new green base color, Deaf World Forest. I decided I liked this more at the last minute, and then I got it all over my shirt, so that took time. And here's what the boys look like. They all have this like dark green skin tone on them, which I like a lot. I'm glad I went with this instead of the Orc Flesh because it's desaturated and I think fits their like darker color palette more. This is a good time to showcase my favorite model of the batch. This fucking maniac. He's like a lead, I don't know, he's a lead something. He's a very, very old orc. I'm really just gonna try and focus on the face for the rest of these. One speed painting in general, but one speed painting, you really want to focus on the face because the hope is that nobody looks at any part of your model but the face, because that way you can put time and effort into something that will be the only part of the model people look at and spend like, you know, 1/10 that amount of time on everything else. And hopefully they won't even process or look at it. And that's our aim today for sure. So big surprise, Flaky Tyler changed his mind again, and I decided not to base coat stuff because there was still the green I had used previously in my airbrush, and I wanted to do the rest of the green without wasting that paint. So now we've gone and then it's a mix of this color, Cadian Flesh Tone, and previous color, our friend Deaf World Forest Focus, Deaf World Focus. Yeah, I just put that as a little highlight on, yeah, it should be focused. Yeah, on all their faces, shoulders, fingers, and then concentrating especially on like the area around the mouth, like the gums. I want it to feel like kind of fleshy. So yeah, it's basically, I don't know exactly what mixture, but it's basically just like 50-50 this and Deaf World, and I might have put like a tiny bit of Ogre and Camo in there too to brighten it, but not really. Now we are putting a ton of Ogre and Camo in though. This is mostly Ogre and Camo with a little bit of the Cadian Flesh Tone left and Arid Earth on top. I'm going to be painting more models in this style, so like when I continue to batch paint them, I want it so that like if the colors are slightly different, it doesn't look crazy weird. I think as long as I'm sticking to these, like it'll make it seem like, you know, There are orcs that are just like from slightly different areas or ages, or there's like naturally some variety of like pigment differences in their skin. Well, maybe I'm just telling myself that. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out if the day ever comes when I paint more than just these in this style. For now, I'm gonna do the like highlights, mostly focusing on the like main face region. So like the brow and eyebrows. That's not focused at all. Oh, and our clock. The first clock was like about to run out, so I stopped it at, or switched it over at 26 seconds, and this one's been going over since, and we're currently at 109, so got a like okay amount of time left, but we got a fucking lot of stuff left to do. Do you think this is a painting video? Should I paint at any point in the video? I guess we should probably paint. So yeah, extreme highlight, just right there, real subtle. Oh, good time for the airbrush to clog. Yeah, just that top face area. Other shoulder, and then just the knuckle tips. I realized at some point, like, I like how my models look a lot more from the front, because like I'll be unhappy with the paint job and then be like, damn, I thought this was like better. And I realize it's like because I'm looking at it from the perspective that like I play it in the game, which is from behind, and as soon as I turn around, I'm like, oh no, that still looks good, like how it was in your head. So I'm trying to actually put some more time into like the backs of models. The biggest lesson from filming so far is the thing that actually takes me the largest amount of time to paint is spilling paint and then cleaning it up, which we did again on the second layer of highlights. If I really wanted to speed these guys like insanely fast, I think I would have skipped this step in hindsight, but it's cool. We did it already, and they'll look nicer for having done so. So yeah, just another layer of airbrush. Ogre and Camo, our previous color, and then a little bit of Arid Earth on top. And yeah, I mean, I think it makes them look a lot better, but at the cost of like spilling paint and spending a long time, I don't know if it was worth it. Because we still have quite a bit of base coating to do, as you can see. So without further ado, I'm gonna move into that now. And there's 49 minutes left, so we're gonna fucking gun through this last bit. Hello, there's 26 minutes left. And the squig hogs are red, some of them. I decided at some point I didn't really like the red that much. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it felt like the classic color and the easiest one, but I feel like it's too bright and it takes away from them being goths, so I'm probably gonna make this darker later. And for these guys, I for sure wanna just try a dark fur tone and see how that feels. So we're gonna move on to these ones now, the other squad. Here's the clock, 15 seconds left. Yeah, there's like, never mind. There was 15 seconds left on that clock. 26, you get it. I'm using the rest of a clock to explain the numbers. It's 1:18 a.m. I think, did my debit card flash on the screen for a second? Oh god, I gotta remember to cut that. Yeah, and we're out of time. What did we accomplish? One thing we didn't accomplish is filming enough of this. I got too caught up in the grind of trying to scramble to finish them that I did not go over the last few steps or even record them. This is something that is wholly preventable, and I should have thought of and planned for prior to entering this video. What do we have? Some okay looking orc boys that did not take that long to paint. What took the most time? Deciding on what fucking color to paint everything. Highlighting the skin on the beast snaggers took a long time, but it's just because my airbrush malfunctioned, and you know, that's what the universe has planned for you some days, and that's fine. I feel like they went pretty fast outside of that. The squig hogs, I think, turned out pretty okay. Yeah, but they took a really long time just because like I didn't know what color to do. Like this Noblin Smash Squig ended up in an okay-ish place, but repainted a lot of him a couple times just because like I didn't know exactly what I wanted. And I'm gonna repaint like a lot of him still, I think. Like his little like cloak area I'm gonna redo, just because I think it's too bright. It doesn't look like a goth enough. Either that or I'm gonna like significantly change it and darken parts of it. Here, let me actually like zoom so you can fucking see him. Put some sepia on his skin. He's the only one who has that. It's just a little bit of like what was supposed to be Reichland flesh shade, but I used Sepathin Sepia just because the Reichland flesh shade was over there, and I forgot that this wasn't it, and I grabbed the first wash I could. And that's fine. They're like basically the same paint. I really can't tell the difference. He's got a gradient underneath him. Like you can see that like purple underneath the red. I think that helped a lot. These guys all have little gradients. Good thing about the gradients is they look better. Bad thing is it's harder to just go like, this is red squad, this is whatever color this is, squad, like gray, purple, red, which will probably get like more color ambiguous as I continue painting them after this. Yeah, I don't know. They're like, you know, all some form of painted though. I'll put them under the little like light stand over there here so that you can like actually see them and it's not me just like loosely wobbling around. Okay, here. This is what just under 3 hours of frantically painting boys looks like. How do I feel about this? Fine, I guess. Pleased and disappointed. I was hoping to have them look more done in this period of time, but I think I am happier with how they look. Like this is a great start to go back and like finish later. And because this is a challenge that I arbitrarily made for myself and there are no real rules and this is just for the sake of a gimmicky video, I'm gonna paint them a little bit more tomorrow and see where they end up. I might do another timer just for like an hour or something and see where that gets us. But the main thing I want to do that's gonna be different than this time is I'm gonna spend a lot of time thinking about how I want them to look exactly before actually starting to paint them, and I think that'll make a huge difference. And even just like doing that and then going back for like an hour, it's gonna go like so much faster just because like I'm not gonna be repainting stuff and I'm gonna have a real plan, adhere to it, and I think we can get the rest of them done to like a reasonable standard within an hour, minus basing, which will probably be like another hour or so, because these Beast Snag boys aren't even like flocked yet. There's no texture on that base. So another pro tip for painting is people will always just only look at whatever the biggest model in your army is, especially if it's the only one you have in frame, I guess, that's focused. But yeah, like this Smash the Squig is the one that I hope everyone looks at first, which is why I want him to look the fanciest and best. And then the rest are more of an extension of him than they are like their own individual things. I paint armies. When you paint armies, people just look at the whole. They don't really pay attention if Beast Snagaboy number 8 has better teeth than Beast Snagaboy number 9. It's just like, does this feel right as like a cohesive thing? The second tier to that is, what is the biggest thing that catches everyone's eye, and how does that look? For this, it's definitely the Noblin Smash the Squig, but it's like, you know, 1:30, so I'm gonna call it for tonight. Hi everyone, welcome to the other side of a time skip. This is about 7 more hours worth of work. And what do we do in that period of time? We get the bases done. I should okay, full disclosure, it's been like about a week since I filmed anything, but I just didn't record this part of the video. And sometimes that happens in life. Sometimes you have a thing you want to do and mean to do and it doesn't happen. From my experience, most of life is, but we're doing it now. That's what's important. First of all, we got the bases done on everybody. I base coated everything else and started touching up everything that we did previously. Added some more layers of dry brushing to these guys in the back, the squig hogs. Spent a lot more time on the knob. I did a little bit more dry brushing, some more washes, mostly Reichland flesh shade. Tried to blend the purple and red together using a very desaturated orange mixed with off-white. He has his teeth picked out. I made this cloth area darker too, as I discussed previously. And there's some more detail that could be added to him. It'd be nice to have some checkers here, but he's like functionally done as far as I'm concerned. With the rest, they'll need a little bit more work. Like these Beast Snagaboys, their teeth and eyes aren't picked out at all. And the rest of them is pretty dark and a little bit muddy. I really don't mind it because I think adding the bases and making them very bright as a nice source of contrast makes them feel pretty cohesive. They don't feel unfinished to me outside of the teeth. One of my goals this year, I'm like hesitant to say this on camera because I feel like it won't happen, but one of my goals is to get all of the unpainted orcs I have done by early 2023, if not the end of this year. It's pretty lofty, but I've made some pretty good progress. I mean, like I've painted about 1,000 points in the past week, and I think there's only about like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 points left. So it's not insane. The thought of like having no more unpainted orcs is like simultaneously like a great source of comfort and also kind of terrifying. I don't know life without unpainted orcs. That's all I've ever known. I don't know what it's going to be like to not have them anymore. And one thing that wasn't painted at all last time was these mega knobs. These have more detail put into them than actually everybody everybody else over here, with the exception of the Noblin Smash Squig. I'm batch painting a bunch more Mega Knobs right now, which I'll bring over. So getting this whole army from where it was last time I was recording to its current state was about 7 hours, and getting these Mega Knobs to where they are now from being primed was about an additional maybe 6. I need some more details added. I need to finish the bases and the base rims. Their faces need a wash. I need to pick out the teeth, but outside of that, and like weathering the decals to make them blend in and not feel too new and polished, I think like they're pretty close already. It makes me really want to just paint like another couple thousand points of works, which is very convenient because I have another couple thousand points of works. What's the point of this video? The real answer is there is none. It's just something to do. If there's going to be like a lesson from this, I think it's very easy to get caught up in an army and get intimidated and be like, oh god, that's like so many models, that'll take so long. But if you like force yourself to get stuff done in a certain period of time, or just like, even if you like don't make it, like set a deadline and try really, really hard, genuinely really try to get them done in that period of time. And I think you'll be surprised by the progress you get done. Painting a 2,000 point army used to typically be like a multi-year project. Most people I know now seem to be able to finish one within like a matter of months, which is like insane. But I mean, obviously it depends on the army, and I don't expect all painters to paint that fast. I've been doing this for years, which is why I can do models at the speed I currently do. I used to take like an average of like 5 maybe hours a boy, and then I was happy when I got down to like 3, and now we're getting to the point where I can probably do like just a basic boy in like maybe like 20 minutes, and then like a really rendered nice one in like 45. So from like being base coated to their current state, I'm really happy with how much time it took to get here. And I mean, in total it'll probably be my guess is I average like probably around like half an hour per Mega Knob, which is a time period I'm very happy with. A couple batch painting sessions is enough to get, I think, like a really, really large percentage of an orc army done for me. Anyways, thanks for watching this. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do a follow-up video on these guys eventually, and I know people have like asked about me doing a video or just showcase like my whole army, and that's something I'd really like to do at some point too. So yeah, those are both in the future, and thanks for coming by.